What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to State 48 Turtle and Tortoise. Guys, we're currently in Philadelphia, headed to New Jersey. We got a banger of a video for you. If the shirt is any sort of hint on where we're going to be at and who we're visiting, definitely stick around, watch the video. It's going to be an absolute banger. We actually may have brought a couple friends with us in my backpack. So definitely going to want to stick along, see what we got here for Chris and Casey Garden State Tortoise. But going to be a banger of a weekend, guys. Appreciate you all being here supporting. Definitely stick along because this is going to be a video for the books. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to State 48 Turtle and Tortoise. Guys, we have arrived. We are at Chris and Casey's Sanctum. We're here in the backyard right now. I'm going to give you guys a tour of pretty much cage by cage of all the different animals that he has, because I've already done one lap around, but I'm already ready for lap number 2. But before we get into that, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a couple clips. We spent this morning doing something I've dreamed of doing, and that is seeing wild turtles in the wild. And we went and did some terrapin conservation work with them, helping females not get run over in the middle of the road, helping them find suitable nesting locations for their eggs to be laid, and harvesting some eggs that will be incubated in a different location to be able to ensure future colonies of Diamondback terrapins. But it was an absolute honor. Later, I'm going to tell you about my first experience I had on the way to their house this morning, finding my very first turtle. But I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys over to those clips that I got of just Chris digging up some eggs, telling us about the conservation work. And I'm probably going to throw some other clips in here as well, but go ahead and enjoy that, and then I'll catch you in a minute. All right, guys, here we are working on some conservation stuff here for the Diamondback terrapins. Chris has found himself, is this a fresh nest, or is this one that looked like a good nesting, decided to start digging?
I could just tell where they nested, and this nest definitely probably been here about, I'd say 18 to 24 hours, because you could tell the eggs have started to chalk, which means that they have slightly, just very, very slightly begun development. It's always hard getting a first egg out because you don't want to break it.
It's almost like the keystone that holds it together, and you get the first one out and
100%.
They start coming.
And, you know, we don't get this with probably within the hour. A crow will. And if a crow doesn't get it, a raccoon will tonight.
That's wild.
Yeah.
There's no sign really, is there?
Yeah, that was wild. I mean, we were just walking down this dirt road.
Well, we all know there's something wrong with you.
The good kind of wrong, though, I guess.
Something wrong with all of us. We're here, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the thing that's right.
Absolutely. Alrighty, guys, so we just got done doing a whole day of conservation here. We processed over 40 females, got them registered, checked if they've already registered in their system, collected a crap ton of eggs. Absolutely phenomenal experience. I should have taken more clips of it. Maybe I'll steal some from some of the other guys that were here today, like those guys over there. But nonetheless, the reason we're doing this is this right here. You've got crows, you've got fox, you've got raccoon, you've got skunks. That they come as soon as these turtles lay their eggs, and they eat them. So that's why this conservation work is so important. I mean, literally saving hundreds, if not thousands, of baby turtles every single season. Absolute pleasure. I was able to participate in it today. I mean, you can see over there, eggshells everywhere, females laying everywhere. We've got a female here up the road. I'll take a quick clip of her laying eggs. It's been an absolutely awesome experience. All right, so Anthony's got his GoPro set up. Got a female laying eggs right there. I may steal that clip from them later, but tons of females. Absolutely once in a lifetime experience here. Alrighty, guys, we've made it back to the front yard over here. We're gonna tear into all the Hermann's tortoises, the different subspecies, all that stuff. Gonna have Chris come educate us that on a little bit, but I wanted to show you guys their radiated tortoise pen. These tortoises are absolutely beautiful. Look at that. She thinks I have food, but I don't. But she is a beautiful, beautiful domed tortoise. Absolutely magnificent. Let's see who else we can find. Got another beautiful radiated tortoise here. The thing I love about them is the sharp blacks and yellows they have on their heads and arms. They're beautiful tortoises. I'd love to have some someday. It's not quite in the cards as of soon, but I mean, look at the size of this, and look at the coloration on that. You don't see that sharp contrast of color quite as often, but man, is that a beautiful tortoise. And look at how absolutely wide this tortoise is. I mean, can't put my foot next to this. That is a beautiful, beautiful tortoise. And then of course you got some misfit eastern box turtles here in this gigantic enclosure that is absolutely massive. There's a pond there. Super cool enclosure. It's never ending here. I love it. Looks like what we're seeing here. A couple more here. And I don't know them well enough, but this looks like a male bullying a female, if I'm not mistaken. Trying to do some courtship behavior, but this is so beautiful. The colors on his Radiateds are mind-blowing. I mean, the colors on that male are just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. I love this enclosure. The topography of it is awesome because it's much higher over here and a lot lower down here as it goes this way. Gives them a lot of opportunity for some different types of terrain. Alrighty guys, here we are with Chris. We are currently going to be educated by the Hermann's master. So we'll step in here real quick. Tell us about this subspecies, or would it be considered a subspecies or its own species?
It's a subspecies. It was proposed for full species rank in 2006, but it was tentatively rejected pending further research. But as somebody who works with them probably more than the average person, I would say they are definitely worthy of full species. Everything about them is different. They are the Western Hermann's tortoise, Testudo Hermanni, and they are vastly different from the common Eastern. That's an adult male, an older male. And right now we're out here because there's two peak times a day that they'll try to nest. The morning, and then they'll relax and hang out under the shade for the heat of the day. And we had a real hot one today. And now that it's starting to cool off slightly, they're starting to come back out, and they'll do one of two things. They'll either they'll either eat, or they will possibly nest, because we are in the heart of their nesting season. So we're gonna walk around, see if anybody's laying eggs.
Looks like we had quite a few out snacking. I mean, even a half hour ago, they were all still sleeping, avoiding the sun. But this is the Sicilian.
These are Sicilians, yep. They're known for the brighter yellow cheek patch on them.
Even their arms are very yellow too.
Yeah, they're very yellow locality.
Oh yeah, that cheek patch, look at that.
Yeah, and I mean, not all of them are like that. You know, there's always variation. But you know, this female's got a good weight to her, and she's pacing around like crazy, so she could be looking to lay.
So pretty similar as far as like sulcatas go, which is what I know, right? Mm-hmm. They start to pay, females will pace a lot. They wake up earlier in the morning.
Yep.
And then depending on how far along they are, they'll either eat more or not really eat as much, and just sit in the sun. Yep. And basically cook those eggs.
Yep. The only challenge with these is you can see they're very small tortoise, full grown, so you got to know what you're looking for to spot their nests.
Yeah.
Because they'll go into these little heather bushes,
and you
just you know, usually like back into them like this and nest. You know, that one's just resting there. But see, look at her, she's really on the move.
Yeah.
So she might be looking.
That's awesome.
People think they're slow. They're not.
Yep. Yeah. Nope. That's the biggest, probably the most common comment I get from people is when they see my tortoises running around, especially my adult male. That is not a slow tortoise. No. Yeah. They can move. You don't want to take your eyes off of them if you set them outside the pen.
That's right. I lost a turtle when I was a kid. My beloved red-eared slider. Yep. Took off because I didn't think he was going to do that.
And water turtles are ninja turtles, man. They'll climb right up a wall.
Yep.
So what do we got here? What are we walking through now?
This locality is Majorca, Spain.
Darker?
Which is a Balearic island. Not necessarily.
Just
this one is a very unique tortoise. On the island of Mallorca, or Majorca, you see these
that's an
jet
old
black.
tortoise.
Yeah, she is older. You see these jet black ones. And interestingly, as far as everybody knows, the babies are normal colored.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And what's cool is, you know, when you look at her carapace, it's all black. But when you look at her plastron, she has the classic.
The common.
Yeah. There's nothing melanistic about her plastron. These are normal stripes, the uninterrupted bands that the Western Hermann's is known for. She's feeling pretty heavy, so she could be getting
And she's
ready.
eating, packing in the nutrients. Yeah. And I mean, I don't see any others. Are they all?
Yeah, some of them probably. Yeah, here's another one.
Oh, there you go.
Here's a male.
Still some pretty deep black coloration on it, though.
Yeah, he's still a darker animal. You can see he's got the keyhole.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And she would have the keyhole if she wasn't entirely black. The bands.
Look at the tail on that guy.
Yeah, the tail's huge. There you go.
That's
There's
awesome.
your quick 101 on how to sex tortoises.
Nice Hershey Kiss tail, and he's got a freaking Tyrannosaurus Rex tail over here.
It's like a traffic cone.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And this is the same exact locality, but these are more
Oh, there they
normal,
are.
more
Yeah,
normal
much
color.
brighter. Now let's see what the ear patch could look on these. And yeah, it's nowhere. I mean, they almost have a neon ear patch. Some of those over there.
Yep.
That is awesome. What's your ratio here and here in this one?
In here is a 2.4.
That's awesome. And for testudos, what's your preferred ratio to get good successful breeding?
I mean, it depends. I always say to people, if you've got a really big group of them, break them down into smaller groups, because when there's that many tortoises in an enclosure, they can get stressed out. You know, I personally would like to split up the Sicilians. There's a good amount of numbers in there. This locality here, this is the rarest of the Western Hermann's tortoises in captivity, and second rarest population in nature. This is the south of France population, which we call it for short VAR, but it's actually said Valois is the full name. And these are a little bit bigger. They're kind of like a 50-50 black and yellow.
And these are the most endangered.
The second most endangered population in nature. Here's one.
Did you plant those plants in there, or did they just pop up?
These just popped up.
Oh,
yeah.
Some sort of grass?
It's a blue grass, yeah. This is one of my favorite locales. They have really distinct markings. They're very, they actually say in nature they're very homogeneous, that they may essentially be inbred, because the population is so endangered that there's not much genetic
So they're all
richness.
related pretty closely.
It's potential. I mean, we don't really know for sure. This group is very healthy. They are reproductive. But there's only a 1.4, and those are really the only ones of the actual French ones that we know of, aside from the hatchlings that I've relinquished. But they really, I mean, they have a very distinct keyhole.
Oh yeah,
They're really beautiful.
and I almost feel like on the bottom, it's a little more splattered, the line, whereas the one we were just looking at is like almost like a perfectly straight line down the middle.
They have really nice, like real thick bands there, you know, and they also have a different shaped head. You know, the Sicilian ones tend to have more of like a snake-like head, regular contours, pointed beak. These guys have a little bit more of a robust head.
Yeah, a little more blunt.
Yeah. And there are slight genetic differences between these populations of Western Hermans. You know, they're not all the same thing.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, what needs to happen is they need to be elevated to full species rank, and then these localities can actually be sub-specific underneath that, you know?
Yeah,
But let's see.
that's awesome.
There's a male hanging out under there in the shade.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
He looks like he probably had some sort of injury at some point.
Yeah, I got him like that.
Yeah.
You know, he came over that way, so who knows if
You said
he's
2.4 in here?
only a 1.4.
Oh, so he's your male,
He's my male.
and he does the job.
He does the job.
That's awesome.
A little bit smaller than the French. Not quite as small as the Mallorcan. But
Yeah, good
they're,
size.
They got a nice pastel yellow, and these tortoises come from the mainland of Italy.
And their bends, you can see the difference. They're
Yeah,
a little bit
they're
more
thinner.
narrow on this
Yeah.
one. That's awesome.
Beautiful animals.
And this is Puglia.
This is Gargano Puglia. Yep.
Awesome.
Mainland of Italy. I'm not going to say it right. Murgia. It's also in Puglia. This is a little bit of a smaller locality.
Look at that female's back. I think she was doing back leg digging, it looked like.
She or she's just trying to get through.
I don't know.
You know, again, another Italian locality. You know, the ones on the mainland of Italy all follow a very similar standard. Just really nice, compact, beautiful tortoises.
Yeah. Yeah, these ones are small.
This is a good size for a female, you know. This is, I think, the biggest one in here, and she's the only one that's that big.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the smallest subspecies of the westerns, or the smallest locality of westerns?
Personally, these guys are pretty small.
I
The
said these-
males are very tiny.
Are these all females?
These are all females.
Oh, wow.
The males are very
Oh, there's a
tiny.
guy. I guess that's a male right there, right? Or is that another female?
That looks like a young female.
What? These are tiny. These are egg-laying females, theoretically.
Yes, yeah, absolutely they are. I know they are. Here you go. Look at this.
Look at that. That's an adult egg-laying female.
And this is an adult male.
Wow.
Okay, they're tiny. You know, it's between them and I think Mallorca. is a very small locality. Mount Etna on Sicily is a small black locality too, but really large animals have been known to come out of there too. So I think the Mount Etna thing has been debunked a little bit, where they're not as small as everybody automatically assumed.
Yeah.
I was even guilty of that. You know, I thought they were very tiny, but I mean, look at that.
It's another male. And he's an old dude.
He's an old dude, and he's really compact, and he's a great breeder. And
that's awesome. Here are the desert box turtles. These are what would theoretically be found in Arizona, in southern Arizona towards Tucson, kind of that part of our state and into New Mexico. They're a very rare box turtle. We're actually in Arizona not even allowed to keep them. If you had them, you're grandfathered in, but you're actually not even allowed to have them as a pet. Whereas the desert tortoise, you can have one per head of that, one per adult in the house you can have on the desert tortoise. But these are strictly, you can't do anything with these ornate box turtles. They're very heavily protected. They are a beautiful little box turtle. The males tend to have kind of a greenish head. If we put water on this guy, bet you the head would green up quite a bit. And these are some ornate box turtles. Again, very cool box turtle, very similar. And then he's got some other really neat stuff here too. We got Mexicans, Yucatans, and just honestly, it's endless. There's so many cool animals to see here. There was the radiated enclosure we saw earlier. Here's a really cool pond that he has some Sicilian pond turtles in, but they are very shy, as you can tell, and one just hopped back in the water. But definitely really cool. This pond would be awesome. I don't think I'll do one this big, but I'd like to do one maybe half of this size would be the dream, just to put a bunch of water turtles, wood turtles, other things like that inside of them. But we could literally be here all day looking at all the different species of turtles and tortoises. Chris, these are Easterns right here? Is this an Easterns group? So look at these guys. These are much larger. Here's a big female, as you can tell. It's a nice healthy female, and they'll get even bigger than this occasionally.
we had the largest known adult female in the country. Her name was Athena, and she was 11.2 inches.
That's wild.
She sadly finally passed away last year.
Is this a male or is this a female here?
It looks like a male.
That's an adult male right there.
Yep.
Would that be a bigger male?
Standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not that big. She's not that really all that big either.
But she's mature.
Yeah, she's an egg layer. There are bigger ones in here. I think we're on the other side of that bush.
Do you feel like the fluting is a little more common on the Easterns?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. That's definitely a sign of the Easterns.
I mean, you see it in the Westerns. It's not impossible. It doesn't make it not pure, you know.
Yeah.
That's a male.
Oh, that's
too.
another male. That's awesome. Yeah. And he's even bigger. That's gorgeous.
I've had really giant old males too, you know, that sadly passed on. It was their time, you know. But and these tortoises can live forever, so it makes you wonder just how old some of those big males and that big female were, you know.
Yeah. What is this? That almost looked like like a fairy egg or whatever they call them, right? But it's just a rock. I don't know.
It's a rock.
Yeah, right?
Look at that.
It looks perfect.
They will do that sometimes.
Yeah.
They will lay those
I've got a little one in my incubator right now just for kicks and giggles, but that's awesome. Yeah.
It's crazy that that's the same species.
It is, honestly. That's wild.
And you know, you don't want to talk about a male tortoise that's big. You know, that's a male.
Oh, that's a male.
Yeah, that's a male.
Look at that. Well, look at the tails on these, because that little one, I honestly feel like its tail's looking similar to this, where there's not a lot of tip on it, but...
Well, yeah, they have the blunter tail, the spur thighs.
Yeah.
They don't have the sharp point like the Hermans do.
That's wild.
Gil, nobody asked you to be in the video. Nobody asked you.
He needed it.
I'm in there anyway.
Yeah. And then more Easterns, tons of Easterns. No, these are Iberia Greeks. I have that one Iberia Greek in my house, but she doesn't look anything like... She looks like super dark like this one, but she's got that classic... Grew up in an aquarium her whole life.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, these are big. These are some big tortoises, and yeah, they've all got those blunt tails. And then lastly over here are the marginateds, which are probably some of the biggest.
Yeah, historically the marginateds are known to be the largest of the testudo species. You know, the Ibera do get big. You know, we got some pretty large females. That's a big girl right there, but with the marginateds, the males get even bigger.
The males are the bigger ones.
Yeah. And you can see there's a male right back here in the shade. Seeing his,
oh yeah,
he's on the
That's
right.
a cool tree to have in here for them.
Yeah, they love the shade in here.
That's awesome. Yeah. That is awesome. Kind of at a weird point in the day where we're getting some weird shadows, so I'll do my best to not get a ton of shadows on camera. But we are at the infamous Aquascape pond here. This thing is beautiful. Just got trimmed up the other day, so we got some debris around, but beautiful. We got a Blandings turtle here. Absolutely beautiful turtle species. Very, very rare turtle species, but oh my goodness, so beautiful. I love getting up front and close and personal with these species that I've never seen, because the cool part is I've never seen their eyes. Seeing the eyes on all these different species of turtles is something that I'm really coming to love, because I don't get to see much of that. I don't get to see all the different turtles up close, see the colors of their eyes, the speckling of their eyes. I'm kind of nerding out over it. And look at this. Got a little razorback muskrat here on land. Beautiful, beautiful little turtle. Love it, love it, love it. And then we have a gorgeous... Is that a red belly? I don't know what that is. That might be. I don't know. Not a red belly. Gorgeous, gorgeous turtle. Out basking. This pond is just loaded with life. Lots of fish. Lots of varieties of turtles. Honestly, it's just amazing. I was hoping I could see a spotted turtle for you guys. There's a little painted turtle or something. Another Blandings coming up. This is a friendly gal. Look at that. This pond is my dream. I want to build something about the size of, honestly, from about here up is about the size I want my pond. Or maybe even that size, frankly, would be amazing. But I mean, if I could keep it this clean all year round, I would be in heaven. Having a pond this clean year round in Arizona. Got another little razorback down there. You guys can see that. This is just so cool. I'm such a freaking turtle nerd, and it is freaking amazing. This is so awesome. Didn't see any of the spotteds like I wanted to see, but it's okay. Alrighty guys, here we are in the nature room of Garden State Tortoise. We're doing a quick little blitz around here, checking out all the cool animals he has. I have to say there's two things that caught my eye here. Number one is going to be these awesome new tortoise tables he just got from Toad Ranch, but also what he's got in that bin over there. We're going to go over there in a second, but first I want to show you these tortoises. I can't give you the exact scientific names, but if you watch my channel, you most likely watch Chris's, so you know what they are. I want to say one of these is the Tunisian. I don't know if it's this group or the other group, but look at this. This is a full-grown adult tortoise. Absolutely blows my mind the size of small tortoises. Coming from owning sulcatas since I was 9 years old, it's always amazing seeing all these different tortoises that are full-grown at just the size of a 1.5-year-old sulcata. Absolutely blows my mind. I love it so much. Next up over here, guys, he's got a gorgeous fly river turtle. One of these is on my list. I'd like to get a teeny tiny one at some point and raise it up, but super freaking cool. But I like albino turtles and tortoises. You guys know that. You guys have seen these on Chris's channel before. This is a male ornate albino Diamondback terrapin. Absolutely beautiful boy. I'm gonna see if I can get the female over here because she is gorgeous. Let's see if we can grab her. She's kind of down under the water right now, but look at the colors on that. I mean, just glows beautifully. And I believe this is a from down south in Florida. That one, that dark colored Diamondback terrapin, but I love these. Absolutely beautiful. Just that perfect pink skin. It'd be kind of cool to see the pattern on them if it would show through on the albinism, but such a cool little turtle. Absolutely awesome. And then with my obsession of tiny turtles and tortoises, there's a lot of things to see in here. I'm not going to go through every cage because we still have so much to see outside, but the turtle species that is in here, I took a clip earlier. I may have to insert it, but it's a spotted turtle. They are one of the tiniest species here in the US, and of course it's been out all day, but doesn't want to be here when I'm filming this. But the spotted turtles are awesome. I'll go ahead and insert a clip here. And then we're gonna head over and check some more animals out. Alrighty guys, here we are in the turtle room, turtle house here at Garden State Tortoise. I'm here with Anthony PIERLIONI, who's my exact same height.
Exactly. You know, that was great pronunciation of my last name.
Oh, was it?
I love that.
Alright, so I have got a lot of interest in these from watching Chris's channels, a lot of other people's channels, and we have the master of Spengleri right here with us.
That's high praise.
He's going to impart some knowledge and educate us a little bit about these, so that way I can become a well-informed turtle keeper when the day comes that I get to keep one of these beautiful turtles.
It's really exciting to, I mean, obviously the turtle stuff, we're building a community here that's, you know, building on a foundation from decades ago, and we're making great progress. It's amazing. And when you look at these you know, kind of as a case study, like individual species like this and these individual situations where I get to meet somebody like Hayden who's doing amazing things with his YouTube channel and taking on a new species that I've had a little bit of success with. It's really exciting to be able to share that. So Vietnamese black-breasted leaf turtles are one of my absolute favorite animals in the entire world. They make me so happy. They have these owl eyes because they're kind of down on the forest floor. They're definitely down on the forest floor. We're in these areas that are kind of getting dappled sunlight at best. So it's low visibility. They're shaped like a leaf, which is where they get their name, leaf turtle. The other part of their name, black-breasted, because of their plastron, which is all black. And they don't get very large. So this is not an adult that Hayden's holding, but it is on its way to becoming an adult. It is a young male, and they top out sometimes not even at 4 inches. So according to our federal 4-inch law, you know, it's not legal to sell them as pets, even as adults. That's how small the species is. But they are still being trafficked in Asia and also making their way to the US. So if you're interested in keeping the species, you have to be very careful to acquire captive bred animals, because there are animals coming in that are coming from the wild. They're stressed out and people are telling you, yes, these are captive bred, and they're all asking a lot of money for them. And then obviously heartbreak comes with that.
Yep, those non-captive bred wild-caught animals never do very well. And so that's why it's super going to be a challenge to find a captive bred animal. But look at how tiny this is. You guys saw in the video, this is one that you gifted him a couple months ago?
Yeah, it was in the winter in January. We came down and gifted to Chris.
They're tiny. I mean, how big are their eggs? The size of a marble?
Their eggs are actually kind of large,
okay.
and compared to the adults, who they only lay like one at a time, one egg at a time, sometimes as many as 3 or 4 is the record. We don't have to get into all of that. But yeah, they do really, as hatchlings, start out really small, sometimes as small as 4 grams, sometimes as large as 8 or 9, but that's a really small animal.
That's wild. And I'll link his video down below. He just did a video deep diving on the Spengleri, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I watched it more than once.
Thank you.
So it's an awesome video. So yeah. Alright, here we are, guys, with the 2 most famous turtles on the internet today. We have Rockalina, the rescued box turtle, and Otis, the crazy animal.
That's the best way to describe him.
Yep. And why is it these two don't live together, Chris?
Well, see? See that? There you go.
He's a ferocious animal.
Yeah, Otis is kind of a, he's kind of a, like a Wolverine in a turtle's body. Nobody can explain why he is the way he is, but his aggression towards other turtles is unbelievable.
It's wild.
Yeah, he's been known to flip over other turtles. Not here, but before we got him, he would do things like that. And just the sight of another turtle, he gets very aggressive. And Rockalina has been through enough since her rescuing, so we don't want to stress her out anyway at all.
And she is doing amazing. I mean, I can tell you one of the things I first noticed on her, starting to get some more coloration in her skin, and she's just looking super healthy.
Yep. She'll never have the same coloration as Otis, you know. No 2 box turtles are the same. Males are generally the more colorful ones. Females can be colorful, but even in Rockalina's most natural form, she would never have the coloration that Otis has.
Awesome. Hey guys, we just wrapped up here at Garden State Tortoise. It's been a phenomenal day, as you guys saw in this whole video. Done a ton of crazy things, saw the whole tour here of the farm, but we snaked you along a little bit. These are the little guys that made their trip with me, and they get to live the rest of their lives here at Garden State Tortoise in New Jersey. And I can tell you, it is hotter than expected, and they're gonna love the humidity. But Chris, what did your little girls name these?
This one, Ellie said, is going to be Odie if it's a boy, or Sparkles if it's a girl, and Cece was confident in naming that one Clementine.
Yeah, she pulled that name out very quickly.
Very quickly.
And it's a perfect name.
And she had no idea they were coming too, so.
That's absolutely awesome. I kind of surprised the rest of the family. I let Chris know I was bringing them, but the rest of the family was definitely surprised.
Well, thanks, man. They're so excited to have them.
Absolutely, and I'm super appreciative that we could be here. Met a lot of people out here today, and it was honestly a phenomenal experience. Finding wild turtles out in the wild. I told Chris last week, literally dreamed about it since I was 9 years old, and I did it today. Yeah. And I'm super appreciative of that. But anywho, guys, I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you made it this far, click like, put a comment down below on what you guys want to see next come to the channel, and we'll see you again next time.